what are we going to do about these issues in education today? The Public Schools Merit Building Video Project, done by the ONAN Project for Change, which is a 9-year video series based on a powerful merit-based curriculum designed for 1st through 9th graders. The curriculum is designed to engage students on an experiential level to learn tools for self-empowerment and success, producing measurable short and long-term outcomes in the areas of academics, testing, attendance, self-confidence, behavior, and social interaction. It is delivered via videos and accompanying workbooks in a teacher and user-friendly format. These interactive empowerment and merit-building videos walk students and teachers through lessons with animated characters, green screen technology, and I lost my place, and activity books for each student. The format meets 21st century needs in that it uses up-to-date video technology that children relate to, and it is easily accessible to anybody, and it requires no extra training for teachers. Each year, the animated characters grow in age with the viewers, and each year they address contemporary issues and challenges that the viewing children can relate to, including social, emotional, and educational issues. The topics covered throughout each year parallel the academic learning objectives for that specific grade level, adding a valuable component to the program for both teachers and administrators. It is the ONAN Project's belief that this curriculum, integrated into the regular school day via video, will make a significant difference in the classroom, not only for the students but also for the teachers, who typically feel overwhelmed by the enormous demands placed on them. The interactive videos will be produced for 1st grade initially, progressing to successive grade levels each year. It is the intention of the ONAN Project to provide these videos at minimal cost to schools in the state of Mississippi first, and then to schools throughout the nation.
Look out, Bill Gangsters are moving in. Got an H2 baby with an HCM in. Private jets with them rims that spin in. 15 cribs that I ain't even lived in. I got land on the west.
Knowing life, sometimes it can seem as God is not there at the roughest time in your life. It seems like no hope is dark and it's dim.
Hello, we're back and welcome to Woman with Tammie Tubbs. I'm here with, I tell you, wonderful life coach, motivational speaker, and award-winning author Morgan Onan. She's here to talk to us about the Onan Project in detail. Don't turn that dial because you're going to be blessed this segment of the show. Now, let's hop back into it, Megan, because I'm excited.
All right.
Now, you just shared with us a little bit about the Onan Project and all of that, but you actually had to come in when God gave you a word to come to Mississippi, just walking in faith. Okay, God, I'm trusting you. I'm going to believe you. And the first thing, the school districts, the schools. And we know here in Mississippi, we're #1 in teenage pregnancy, #1 in childhood obesity, #1 in adult, obesity, diabetes, everything. And being away, I'm sure you were like me. It was like everybody talked about Mississippi, but I'm here to say we're not the worst.
No,
there's some great actresses, actors. There are a lot of great people who've come out of Mississippi, and we are too. We're going to put ourselves on that tadpole.
Hey.
So I want you just to really, truly, just to discuss with us what great project has God really birthed out of your spirit with the Onan Project. So the schools, everything, and how are you feeling? Because I know when you're working on something, there are a lot of things that go through your mind, and so this is a place to share it all.
Okay, well, here it comes. All right. Well, when I realized that I was supposed to come back to Mississippi, and I was unsure as to what I was going to be doing here, I decided to start with teenagers. That's where I felt led. That's what I felt like I needed to do. So I started at the middle schools here in Starkville, and I started noticing what kids were really missing. And it was very easy to see. I was just doing one-on-one sessions with them. We were writing a curriculum, trying to figure out the empowerment piece. So our focus at the Onan Project is to form an empowerment, character-based curriculum.
Okay.
Because there's really nothing out there that is very consistent. There's not a tool that schools use across the U.S. There's nothing. There's just nothing solid out there at all.
Other than paperwork that we, as a former teacher and educator, they'll give us, here. We put it in our notebooks on the shelves. Never use it.
Because teachers have way too much on their shoulders.
Definitely.
They've got too much to do. They don't have time for a character building curriculum to throw at them again. So those always get put on the shelf, especially if they're written. So I started just noticing what the needs are of the schools, what the needs are of the children, what the needs are of the teachers and the administrators, and we just kind of went with it for 2 years. We went from working one-on-one to working with full classes all the way from 1st grade to 8th grade.
Okay.
And so it was a really good evaluation phase to see what we were missing, what our kids are not getting. And I think the biggest thing I noticed was that kids were not believing in who they are. And whether that's a home issue or whether it's a school issue, it doesn't matter. We have to do something about it.
Low self-concept.
Yes. So, and for me personally, I wanted to do something that was going to make a difference. And that's what Creating My Heaven on Earth is about. It's about making a difference for our children of today so that we can create real change. Not this instant, quick fix things that are going to disappear in a few years.
Yeah.
Something that is substantial, that will actually help Mississippi, help other states across the country, will help our kids grow into mature, self-responsible, just empowered to go out and do something in the world.
Make a difference.
Exactly. Want to do something. Gets outside of their box.
Yeah.
And so during these 2 years, it's been kind of a very, I even substitute taught at one point, which is quite an experience. But it was important. I had to look at it from all angles and all perspectives to put something together that made sense for everyone. So I had to be very patient during this process and during the development phase, and to just evaluate it for what it is, take it for what it is, see it for what it is, but look outside of what it is too. So for the last 2 years, it's really been a development, but I think we're at a point where we can say we've got a tool that can work for everyone.
Yeah.
And so now we're working on that.
So you have, you discovered, I should say, the kids are low self-esteem, low concept, and when a child is really going through that, there's no identity. You have the bullying issues, which is major, I think, worldwide, nationwide, especially in the U.S. And I'm so happy and grateful that President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, stopbullying.gov, I believe it is.
Yes.
Powerful.
Yes.
And as parents, we do need to talk to our children.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what other issues did you discover when you were substituting, when you were teaching, or just mentoring and life coaching within the school systems?
I would say that bullying is on the top of the list for sure. It's such a big issue, and I think it's because there are a lot of reasons. There's not enough teachers, for one. The teachers don't have enough support in their classrooms. So they're here, they've got 25 kids, and now it's a big challenge to be able to just, stay on top of everything because they also have to reach their test scores.
Definitely.
So that's another big issue where it's becoming so important for our schools to get test scores that we're missing out on developing these kids in all areas of their life.
Yeah.
So when you have that pressure of test scores, then you're going to get the pressure on the administrators, the pressure on the teachers, and then you have pressure on the kids, which in turn puts pressure on the parents. I mean, everybody is like this big stress ball right now, and everyone is being affected. So we need a little bit of light in the school system, and that's what I want our program to do, is to bring something to the kids so that the kids can start creating that change for us.
Definitely.
Because they are the light.
Definitely.
And they're still, in a point in their life where it's really easy to learn something and go with it.
Yeah. I want to really take a pause right here because I really want to encourage my educators and my teachers. I've been an educator. I've been a teacher. I know how it is when there are 30 plus children in a classroom, when you're not fully equipped. There may not be textbooks. There may be, as she said, added stress from administration, but as an educator, it is your duty. It is your job. When you sign your contract on that year of August or July, whenever, you were obligated to teach those children, which means you may have to get out of the box to reach Sally.
Right.
You may have to do something extraordinary to make sure that this child does not fail. It's not about you. Teachers are those role models that kids look at. I often say, as an educator and a teacher, you can make or break a child. And I'm so grateful that I didn't graduate from the Starkville Public School system. My brothers did, all three of them did. Right. I actually came from Oktibbeha County School, and back then it was called B.L. Moore Attendance Center. Yeah. And I love it. It was a very small setting, but we had teachers that cared. We had teachers that dedicated themselves. And I think as educators, we need to get back to dedication. Right. Don't look at it as it's just a paycheck. Oh, well, you know what? I don't care, in 3 years, I'm going to be done with this. No, somebody's life is actually depending on you to teach them and to educate them. And that's why when I met you, I was so grateful that you were putting together a project that children would be able to look, you know, in the camera, on television, and see someone else other than their parents, their teachers, saying, you can make it.
Yes.
You can survive. You know what? In all the world, there's no one like you. You are unique. Because children need to hear that. But oftentimes, our educators, they're so weighted down, they can't uplift our babies anymore.
Yeah.
They can't encourage our babies. And I want to say this too, parents, you can't put all the weight on the teachers.
Yeah.
You have to do your job at home. As a parent, it is your job. It is your obligation to empower your own child. So when they come to school, the educator, the teacher, does not have to sit down, be quiet. No, that's added stress. She can't teach because there's no discipline, there's no respect. And so that's where I believe the ONAN project is going to really be effective, not only in the state of Mississippi, but nationwide. Because they'll be able to know what respect is, what honesty is, what integrity is.
And they'll be able to identify with it on a personal level, and then they'll know how to actually use it. So instead of just hearing the word, knowing the definition, we're going to be giving them life skills on how to use those words.
That's the key.
So that by the time they get to be teachers and parents, they have learned all of these things rather than getting to be, you know, 30, 40, 50 years old and then figure out who they want to be. You know, so I think in order to create real change, we have to really get in there and be intense with our kids and help them to develop into mature, responsible adults that care. That care about life, so that when they choose a teacher role, they have a purpose for that role. They want to be there. You know, and they want to be a parent because that's what they've chosen for themselves, because they know it's important to them. So that's kind of I guess the foundation of the project, is to help that happen. So we probably won't see the results of how this is going to work, maybe like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, as we follow these kids throughout the years. But
I believe you're going to see instant change. I think the discipline problems are going to decrease, because, like you said, the children will be able to relate. They'll be able to see that, oh, this is how I deal with this situation. Okay, if I do this, this is the consequence. A lot of times we're yelling and we're stalling, or in a classroom, you can be chewing gum now, and somebody, you know, an outburst, and just because you're chewing gum, go to the office. And
it's unpredictable.
It is. And so I believe your project, and I'm so excited that children will be able to see, I'm not supposed to do that, versus, did I tell you not to do that? No, there's a better way to communicate.
You can get the same point across in a different way. And not only that, each character, can you tell us a little bit about your characters briefly? Sure. So our curriculum is going to be broken down into cartoons and videos. So it'll be put on a DVD, easily accessible for teachers and students, and we're going to have animated characters that will grow throughout the years with the kids. So they'll basically get the same type of materials over the years for 9 years or so, until we develop a leadership program. But they'll be getting basically an empowerment curriculum for 9 years.
I'm excited, Megan. I'm too excited for you. Listen, if somebody is watching right now, can you give us some contact information where they can go on your website, maybe purchase your book, and I know that they'll be truly blessed. So if you would give us that information as we're about to leave, it's been a joy, but go ahead.
You can go to the project's website. It's onanproject.com, ONANPROJECT.com. Or you can go to my website if you want to get my book. It's meganonan.com, MEAGANONAN.com.
Oh, wow. Thank you so very much for joining me on Woman to Woman. Listen, I know you all have been empowered, and I know you have been informed. It's time for you to live life on purpose. It's time for you to create your heaven on earth. I love you all. God bless you, and have a wonderful, fabulous Sunday morning. God bless.
Living in this world ain't easy. It can seem hard sometimes. Sometimes people don't feel me, and it's hard to find a peace of mind. But I am called according to His purpose, and I am more than a conqueror. Through Him, I can do all things in Jesus' name. Gotta do, gotta